to be fair, DC did the same thing with Flash Rebirth. They added another issue. It was going to be a 6th issue, I think, and then they added another 7th one. But they actually announced that, I think, after the first one shipped. They didn't wait till, like, half the series was done.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And then being like, hey, that book's already late anyway. I don't give a shit about that fucking book. But DC did it, but they did it earlier on. Whereas you're already halfway. You're past that. You were supposed to be past the halfway point with Captain America by buying the first 3 issues. But now you got to buy 2 more on top, so you still got 4 issues to go.
How is Flash Rebirth selling?
It's still selling all right. I mean,
is it top 10?
No, it wasn't in the top 10 last. No.
Whereas with Captain America, that's been at least top 5, right?
Yeah, the first issue was number 1, like I said.
Right.
Issues 2 and 3 were number 2.
So they're saying, you know what, this thing's going. We're going to keep riding. This horse. We're going to ride this horse for as long as we can.
And that's just bullshit.
Watch number 8 come out. It'll be a Captain America. The epilogue. Captain America Reborn. The afterbirth. Ooh, I'm writing that series. Captain America Afterbirth.
It's kind of fitting, actually.
Yeah.
But I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? How do you feel about them just switching that? You already, like I said, you're already halfway through the series. Do you just, kick it in the ass and be like, all right, I just have, they're adding 2 more. I want to get the story. I'm just going to buy them. But then they'll never learn. So, and then they can
Dare I say it?
And then the Siege, the 4-issue miniseries, it'll turn into 6 maybe. Or 7.
Because in issue 7, you'll finally have Miracle Man show up. I'm sorry, Marvel Man show up. Written by everybody's favorite.
Well, actually, I think you're wrong about that post that you put up.
You think so?
Somebody actually, I saw, again, this is something to deal with the blog. I read that Rich Johnson's thing, and I was going to write about it, but I wasn't sure that it was Marvel Man. And then someone in our comments actually posted what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It was Molecule Man. Because Molecule Man actually just showed up in the end of Dark Avengers. So, who knows? I mean, it's not,
which is fine.
It's not beyond Marvel to fuck that character.
Which is fine.
They're going to do it.
If it's Molecule Man, if it's Molecule Man, I can accept that more than Marvel Man. But
it doesn't matter, because Brian Bendis, I seriously think that he's going to be the first Marvel writer to write it, and Joe Quesada is going to draw it. That's just how it's going to be.
Okay, let's just say for the sake of argument, it is Molecule Man, right? Okay, that shows up at who is the ace in the hole for Norman Osborn to keep all the villains in line. You're Dr. Doom. You're sitting at the table with the Cabal. Norman Osborn gets up and says, now all of you here, if any of you think of crossing me, I got something right here that's going to keep you in line. He opens the door and shows you the fucking Molecule Man. What are you going to do? You're going to go, oh no, it's the Molecule Man.
Well, see, this is what Bendis does, though. He takes shitty characters. Well, he's an alright character.
No, Molecule Man was a fun character.
Yeah,
I
shouldn't say
him.
it's shitty. I take that back.
Yeah.
But he takes characters and then he tries to put his own spin on them, make them fucking badass. And that's what the new Avengers are. That's his spin on the Avengers.
No, he takes villains, he turns them into thugs, rapists, and misogynists.
Yep.
That's what he does. He took Dr. Doom, made him a misogynist. Mind you, he already was a misogynist during the Mark Waid run. Mark Waid kind of did that, but
there's a boundary that was crossed when Mark Waid was doing it a little bit.
Well, Mark Waid really crossed the boundary too. No, Mark Waid did some pretty.
Thinking about that, yeah.
No, Mark Waid did some really bad shit with Dr. Doom. I mean, some bad shit. So, and I gave even Mark Waid himself has said he couldn't believe that nobody raised a stink about that. That he did that. But he took the Hood, turned him into pretty well. He's always been a thug, but I mean, kind of a thug, a rapist. Brian Bendis wants to make these characters evil in the street sense, okay?
In the most boring possible sense,
which is,
to me.
But yeah, it's kind of in many cases, and I can see that
there's no imagination.
I can see you doing that with certain characters, yeah, but yeah, you can't do that with every character that you run into.
Right, and that's
so what's he going to do with what would he do with the Molecule Man? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if he writes Marvel Man, I know what he's going to do with Marvel Man. He's going to make him a schizophrenic. He's going to give him a split personality.
That's a century.
Yeah, no, because that's all he knows.
It is true.
I'm sorry, that's all he knows.
Yeah, and by the way, didn't I reviewed Dark Avengers number 10 on the blog, but one part I didn't because I was just so fed up with the review. I had more that I was going to talk about, but I didn't. Didn't the Sentry get shot in the face in issue 9 by his wife? And then in the 10th issue, he's just flying around like there's nothing. They didn't even resolve that. That was the cliffhanger ending to Dark Avengers number 9, was his wife had an alien tech gun and shot him in the face. And he looked like he died. That was the last page. But they didn't even talk about it in the fucking new... Oh, goddamn.
I haven't read it. I have not read Dark
No,
Avengers
you're better
since.
for it. But I'm just... And to answer questions, people are like, why do you read some fucking awful books if you fucking hate them? The reason I do is because I work in a comic shop. And if I hate them, or whether I hate them or I like them, I try to read the most popular books that sell. Like the top 10 books, whatever it is, that's why I read them. So when people come here and they have questions about certain books, like if they say, hey, did you read Dark Avengers? I'd be like, yeah. Like, should I buy it? I'd be like, fuck, hell no. I can answer questions like that.
And you can't criticize something without reading it.
Exactly. And that's half the fun.
Yeah, you have people who are willing to rip things. Like they'll say, that movie sucked. Well, when did you see it? Well, I didn't see it. I just heard about it. No, you have to read it, experience it before you can really have an opinion about it. Mm-hmm. And, I'll let Jose have the opinions on it because I've given up on a lot of the books. I won't read them. I mean, I'm done. I won't buy them. I'm done. I write comics, but I'm also a fan, and I try to be discriminating with what I buy too. And I know Brian Bendis. I respect him as a writer, but he's not hurting because I'm not buying his book. So, man, it seems like a real simple thing to do. A lot of the mistakes that we perceive seem like real simple things to avoid and just don't seem to be avoided. Oh, and someone had commented on the blog about your book, about your Dark Avengers review. The way I was reading it, it wasn't so much, why do you read the book if you hate it so much? Correct me if I'm wrong, commenter, and you know who you are. This person liked Dark Avengers and just didn't like the fact that you were ripping on it and saying the old, well, if you don't like it, don't read it.
No, is that what it was?
That's how I read it.
That's true. They could, yeah.
It's like the old, well, if you don't like it, then why are you reading it?
Yeah, because God forbid the minority have a voice at all.
Because some folks have commented on books that we've ripped and they've liked, and you know what? Again,
it's going to happen sooner or later. I mean, we're not always going to see eye to eye, and that's one of the reasons that we do this, because having differing opinions opens up conversation. Now, whether you want to actually have a civil conversation, that's an entirely different thing.
And just because we don't like a book that you like doesn't make the book bad. It just meant we didn't like it. It wasn't our taste. And if we like a book that you don't like, doesn't mean that you have bad taste.
I agree.
Okay. I was waiting for you to say something.
I agree.
In either case, Marvel,
get your shit together.
Get your shit together. We love you guys. We want to root for Marvel, and Marvel does a lot of good stuff. Again.
Oh, okay. All right. I got to end this last rant, but this is going to way too long. But one good thing that Marvel is doing is that, I don't know how this happened, but now Ages of Atlas is canceled. Ages of Atlas has 4 different books, or they're going to be in 4 different books in January. Ages of Atlas, or Avengers versus Ages of Atlas. This is going to be a 4-issue miniseries, which is actually the old Avengers. It's not this bullshit Avengers.
Right.
Marvel Boy is getting his own, Bob, the Uranian, is getting his own 3-issue miniseries. Ages of Atlas is going to be in the Thunderbolts storyline that Jeff Parker is going to be taking over the book. So they're going to be in there. And then the third one is, their backup feature in Incredible Hulk. So Marvel is trying to push the fuck out of Ages of Atlas. And if the series never comes back, then it's because no one gives a shit. But at least they're trying. And Jeff Parker is writing all of these stories.
Right.
So I will be buying them all because I want to see an Ages of Atlas ongoing. So they are trying. And that's like, I wish Marvel would try half as much with most of the other stuff than they are with Ages of Atlas. which I like that they're doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they need to try a little bit harder in a lot of other places.
It seems like Marvel is like the Sentry. It has a split personality.
Yeah, God.
And on that note, we'll bring this to a close. We always look forward to your comments, your questions. We get a lot of emails and messages. We try to respond where we can. We do read everything, even if we don't respond, even if we can't. But we always appreciate the dialogue, the very civil dialogue that we have here on the CCW TV channel. So, until next time, this has been Elliot and Jose coming to you from Dreamland Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois. We'll see you again soon.